Hello, Taurus. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm going to use the Daily Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. For some reason, I'm having a hard time reaching things at the moment, which is interesting. All right, let's go ahead and get right to it. Taurus. You got some really good cards and some really tough cards. There's a double card there. Let's see. Judgment. I feel like they're saying judgment is like, judgment. Let's just keep going. We'll find out in a minute what that means. Judgment. Yeah, no, they're saying that's right. Okay, let's see where this is going. I find this very interesting. I feel like you're giving in. You are giving in. You're giving in to your partner. Okay. Judgment. Judgment is like, who's judgment for? Are you giving your partner the positive judgment, like giving them what they want? Are you judging this in the sense of like giving them what they want? Is judgment being rendered because you're giving in? Because it's kind of where I'm going. Your partner has the Queen of Pentacles with the Hierophant at the bottom, or right below it. These came out together. I feel like they've been working towards something. And this feels like this is something that you knew was coming forward, but maybe we're hoping or thinking it wouldn't really happen. Or just like, it'd been coming forward, you knew it was coming forward, but maybe you didn't believe or didn't invest in it. I'm just feeling like you didn't really like put stock in it. The information was coming. It seemed like it was possible, but you weren't really thinking it was probable, is what I'm getting. Like you thought, yeah, it could happen. Either that or you just flat out denied it. One of the two. Just kind of like you didn't want to think about it, so you didn't. Your partner coming forward with the confidence, the Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Don't get caught up in the gender, but I feel like this is something they told you was going to happen. They have let you know ahead of time. And I'm getting confidence on their side that they've been working on this and they're going to make it happen. It's interesting because I am seeing the Ace of Cups on your side. Like, you're happy for them. You are. And I feel like it's still like, I don't know, you're just not connecting to it right off the bat is what I'm getting. Or are you? No, you are. Okay, so you are connecting to it. The positive emotions here for you are like you feel you're happy for them. You're going with it. You're going along with the situation. You knew it was coming. So it's not like there's really surprises, I would say. You have positive energy for your partner. You definitely love your partner. But the situation, that's the thing. It's like for your partner, you're happy. You knew it was coming. You're not standing in the way of it. You knew this was going to happen. But on the other hand, the situation itself, not happy about it at all. It's kind of like, excuse me, it's almost like your partner was saying, we're going to have to sell the house if this happens. If I get this other job, we're going to have to sell the house and move. And I almost feel like you were thinking about this along the way, like, yeah, well, if that happens. And then you almost feel like you didn't really think it was going to happen, so instead of making it a fight, maybe, you just agreed to that, thinking it wasn't very likely it was going to happen anyway. And now it's happened. They got this job, and now you have to sell the house. And you're very happy for them because they got what they wanted, but you don't want to sell your house. That's how it feels. So that's the analogy I have with this. That's how I'm feeling. Like, you're happy for them. You knew it was a possibility. You just didn't think it would really happen. Now that it has, you're like, oh, goodness. Now, oh, boy. Like, and you're not standing in the way of it. You remember you said you would go along with this, and you now feel like you got to put up because you said you would. You said you would, so you will. I'm feeling that energy from you. Like, you said you would, so you will. So you are. But you definitely have the 10 of cups, or 10 of, that's not cups. That's swords. You're not happy. You, like, if that analogy, I'm sure it hits for somebody, because it usually does in some way. But, seriously, you're happy for them. You are. You did say you would do this, and you will because you said you would. The Ten of Swords is saying, no, you do not want to. Devastated about the thought. Giving up your home, you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this at all. But I see you're blocking it from your partner. Your challenge card is the Three of Swords with the psychic protection in the sense of like you're not letting your partner know that this is how you feel. And I feel like it's one of the reasons. The reasons is because you already, one of the reasons anyway that you're not telling them is because you already agreed in the past. Like it's almost like they think this has already been worked out. So if you bring it forward now, like, you know what, I know I said I would, but I don't want to. I will because I said I would, but I don't want to. If you bring that forward, you're like, that's going to be a problem. And I feel like part of you really wants to, though, because you really don't want to move or whatever it is. You don't want this change to happen, and you want to say something, but you're kind of like, I gave them the impression that I was fine with this because I didn't want to make it an issue back then, thinking it wouldn't happen. And now that it's happened, I just feel like I'm catch-22 right now. Really, I can't do... no matter what I do, it's going to go bad. I say something, it's going to be a bad moment. I don't say something, it's a bad moment because I have to change and I don't want to. This is rough because I feel you're keeping this to yourself. I really, really do. Your partner, they just seem... Their challenge is to not look too deeply into the situation in the sense of like... I feel like they're kind of aware, but they don't want to open that door. Because I feel like they're banking on you said you would do this and they want it, so they're continuing forward. So they kind of know, but they know you well enough to like if they don't move things around, if they don't cause an uproar about it, that you'll stick with what you said you would, and they're just going to bank on that. They know they can depend on you. They trust you that you said you would, and now you will. It's kind of like just going along on autopilot is what I'm saying, moving forward. You said you would, so they're not questioning it. They do know. They do seem to know, though. They do seem to know. They think this is good. This change, like, they want this. So if we're using that same analogy, like they got this job, it's going to cause them to move. They want this. They're feeling, I feel like the way they're looking at the situation is, yeah, I know this is going to upset my Taurus to move. But they'll reattach their roots in this new place. They'll be fine. It's just going to take them a while to adjust. They're thinking this is a really good thing. They're not bringing it forward, even though they know that you're not happy, because they're thinking once you get your roots reestablished, you'll be fine. You'll make new connections. You'll be able to do it again. You'll be fine. They're just realizing it's going to take you a good amount of time to get there, but they're thinking it will work out. They're thinking this will work out in your favor. You'll be okay. I feel like because of this, and they know you're not over the moon about the whole situation. Even if you're coming out, even if you're in the forefront, you're seeming like it. Even if your emotions are even if you're trying to show that you are, they know they know better. They know that you're not really over the moon about it. But what they're doing is they're just going to keep going. I feel like it is nervous. I feel like they are nervous too. It does kind of like, I feel like whatever you don't want to move on from, for example, if it's the home, they have their honest emotions too. They're like, they don't really like the idea of moving either, but they want the promotion or whatever that is. They want this new opportunity. So they've balanced it out. They think walking away from what they've already enjoyed, going towards something else is going to be a better thing. That's the Eight of Cups. And I feel like the courage is here with them is like, I don't feel like they're talking to you that much because they don't want it to become a negotiation. They want this. And they're feeling like they either have to put up or shut up. And they're also feeling, I'm kind of getting their feeling like they can't afford to say no, because if they say no, like that's like this a one-shot deal type feel is how it feels to me. Like they feel like they have to say yes. Or they're just going to cause damage that they might not recover from with that progression feel. So, for example, like if it was a promotion, if you say no to this promotion, this person that feels like if they say no now to this promotion, they probably won't get another shot. Like they'll be passed over from now on because they said no. I'm seeing where we're heading off on this, but I'm seeing as you keep going forward, I'm getting you very strongly standing to your morals. Like I said I would do this. I did. And I feel that very much. Like I said I would. I don't want to, but I said I would. you got the Queen of Cups here. You got a lot of love for your partner, but you're keeping it to yourself what you're thinking. They know better, but they're like, this is going to work out. This is best for both of us. This is going to make a good situation. So they're looking for ways to make this better for you as soon as they can. They are keeping an eye out. If there's something that they think would make the situation easier for you, and like I see they're keeping their eye out for that. They're not really finding it very easily, but like if there was something that would make your life easier that would go along with this progression forward, they would do that without second thought. They would do it in a heartbeat. They would do it right away. If they could continue in this direction and do something to make things better for you. So I see them keeping an eye out. So in other words, what I feel like the reason that's coming forward is like if there's something you want that is going in this direction that would make things easier for you, if you just drop a hint or two, if they can do it, they will just automatically do it. They will automatically move forward on that. Because I'm seeing here, like, they're holding, what makes things better is they're holding you to it. The Four of Pentacles makes me feel like they're holding you to it. So if you actually do come forward and express how you're feeling, they will hold your feet to the fire on it and be like, you said you would. And I feel you backing down like I did say. I did say I would, and I'm not going to back down on what I said. I am going to hold to that. And I feel like they're holding you to it, and you're like, yeah, I know, and I will. So I'm seeing that this is going to go forward is also what I'm getting with the Three of Wands. This is going to go forward. They are going to hold you to it. It does not feel like a bad thing. I do feel like this is going to work out for you in the long run. I just feel like it's kind of hard. And I actually see, like, you acknowledging to yourself that you really don't want to, but still going forward. That's the Devil card, in my opinion. Like, you're acknowledging, and this is hard for you. And you're acknowledging that this is hard for you. You're acknowledging with yourself that you don't want to do this. And you know what? You may not be in the best mood about it. And that's expressed. Like, but this is your honest emotion. They're not saying... I feel like the fact that this card is showing up is not bad. It's what you do with it. And I feel like it's going to take you a while to get over this, is why they're bringing this up too. It just feels like it's going to take a while for this to really get back in a good place for you. I don't feel like this is bad for you. I just feel like you're not going to like it, and it's going to take you a while before you're feeling comfortable and secure the way you do now again. It's going to take a few years is what I'm actually getting. But it will come back. Well, then, anything else with this? All right, I think we're there. I very much, I enjoy Taurus energy. I very much do, but I feel like you guys get, like, I feel like you guys get a rough shake a lot. I feel like life gets rough for you guys a lot. I don't know, maybe it's just the way I'm viewing it, but I swear there seems to be, like, Taurus has a hard time a lot of times. Just, like, things just... they don't always go your way, and it's like when they don't go your way, it's just like it drags along. So I hope that's a good reading. Maybe as the Taurans watching, it hits with. Hopefully that seems better than I'm taking it, because I'm like, it seems like saying that, you know, things are gonna go into a rough state, and it's gonna you're not gonna feel happy for a few years, like not the same in this situation anyway. But I feel it's rough. Taurus, I like Taurus energy. I really do. What do we have for Taurus singles? This is a theme. There's also like that. The World card wasn't out on the first half of this, but the World card is here. But the first part was kind of like a phase shift, and this one's another one. Let's do a little bit here. I used these in the last one, did I? I think I did. Stop. Grace. You got grace at the bottom here. A graceful situation. Now, for Taurus, a single Taurus, not shocking, you got a lot of earth here. Well, you got two earth cards. I'm saying it's a lot of earth, but it's the cards I'm seeing and where they're placed. It's making me feel like there's a lot of earth here. You're standing with the Knight of Pentacles. Dedicated movement forward. The thing is with the Knight of Pentacles, it's either dedicated keeping the line, slowly progressing, or slowly declining. But there's definitely progression forward. Even if it's just holding the line, it's progressively moving forward to hold things where they are, to keep in action, to keep things at the current standard. So even that is action forward because it's working to keep things at the correct level. The question is, where are you going here? Because I'm seeing like you've got the Tower card in the past. I feel like you're still reeling from this Tower card in the past. Something fell apart, and I feel like you're still picking up the pieces from it. Now, is this good or bad? Because like I'm wondering what's happening here. Because I'm noticing no one else is coming in here, and I almost feel like for the single Taurans that are connecting with this is kind of like your green light that you're completely putting to bed that last situation. Because when I'm seeing you here in the center with the World card and the Knight of Wands, you're acknowledging how you still feel for this person. But whether it's you or them who decided that was going to end, whoever decided that, even though you have feelings, you're at that point where you're kind of like on that, you're like teetering on the fence, like I could get over it or I could just keep wallowing in it. It doesn't matter who, you still had feelings is what I'm getting. So even if you felt like you had to leave, the feelings were still there, you just felt like you had to. But what I'm getting in the teetering on the fence is like you're making that stable movement forward. Even though your emotions still go towards this person for whatever reason, the Knight of Wands is saying you're making that mental choice. I'm out. I'm done. Even if the emotions are still there, and there might be a few straggler feelings still there, you've made that conscious decision. This is over. This is ending this permanently for you. You have, because you've consciously decided, even if the emotions are there, done. Moving on, shutting the door, shutting the book. Done. So that is moving you out of this energy permanently, is what I'm getting. You're reestablishing your Ace of Pentacles. You're reestablishing this without this person in your life. You're not visualizing going things forward or planning things forward or questioning if they're going to be a part of things going forward. Even if you have a child in common or something like that, or property or anything where you have to be dealing with each other, you're viewing that like I'm on my own. We're separate entities. I deal with it my way. They deal with it their way. We come together where necessary, but we're not a couple, and we will not be a couple again. And you are making that complete, I don't know, I feel like this is something with Taurus too. It's kind of like trying to get out of a situation and just trying to get out of it, but making that determined, like, no, I don't care if I do care for this person. I am done. I've made my decision, and I'm moving in that direction. Once the decision is made, and I feel like this is the moment where you're making that decision, done. And this is freeing you to go towards someone else. Now you have the ability, because you have shut that down and you've made that decision, you got the Ace of Swords with success. More can come towards you now. You don't have anything blocking you. You've cut that cord, and I feel like you had to. Now, with Taurus, this makes sense for me. You're not just going to be like, well, okay, I'm good now. I'm going to go find somebody else to jump into a situation with. You're going to take your time. And you're just kind of, I feel like this is normal Taurus. Let me evaluate what's around me. Let's see who I like. Let's see what I would like to happen. Let's see. Like, you're very cautious is what I'm getting. And you're like, you know what? I've just got out of a bad situation. I'm not going to repeat that. So I got to be careful of what I'm going towards. I have to look at people a little more closely. What type of personalities am I getting into here? You know, how do they match up with me? Are they dependable? All this other good stuff. But you're breathing easy now. You're not questioning, like, what if this comes back? Or what if I have to deal with something without? Or, you know, should I give that another shot? Or that, those thoughts are done. You're not, if something comes in, like, what if, you immediately shut it down, like, there is no what if. I already made my decision, we're done. So you're taking your time moving forward. And I'm seeing the environment here with the Ten of Wands. Like, I feel the person that you're leaving behind here, I feel like they get it. They should know you well enough at this point that you've made your final decision. Again, it doesn't matter who left who. If there was a grace period where things could have turned around, and that might be the whole kick of this single reading, you're getting over somebody and you're giving them the message, this is permanently over. And maybe that's part of this. Like this person as a possibility, or maybe this would come back, or maybe I want to try again. The door is being shut. And they're getting that. Because once they realize that door has been shut, they know you well enough. Like it's a done deal. It's a done deal, and there's no turning back now. I actually see you going forward with more possibilities. And it's not like I don't feel like you have to wait for somebody to come towards you. I feel you more a little gun shy, kind of like, I know how I am when I invest in somebody. And I just feel like you're worried, like, just because things seem good now with whoever, you seem to be going towards somebody. You might even have more than one possibility. But I feel you a little gun shy, kind of like, I know how this goes. It's all good now, but down the road, like, I feel like you're trying to find out, and this might actually help you in this situation. You're waiting for a bad moment to hit with this person, or if you have a couple possibilities, you're just trying to find out how people act when they're in bad moods, how nasty they get. You're trying to find out about past breakups for them, because that means a lot to you. Because it's like, when it's good, it's great, and people are in their best behavior. But when things go south, and there's always bad moments, sooner or later, every relationship has its peaks and valleys. It just has good times and it has bad times. It just always will. And when this person's in a bad mood that you're going towards next, the new one, you want to know how bad they get when they're having a bad moment. Like, are they vindictive? Are they nasty? Are they quiet? Do they shut down? What happens with them? Because I feel like that's the kicker. Because you're having this gun-shy moment before you go towards the next person. You're thinking about your past relationship here. And you're just like, yeah, I know they're good when they want to be good, but when they're bad, how bad do they get? So I feel like you're putting this last relationship to bed permanently. It feels like you're just finally making that complete decision. And they're saying something about this relationship you're trying to not bring into the future. And that may actually help you move into the next relationship to get an idea of what these people, with the person you're interested in, or if there's more than one, what they're like when they're in a bad mood. And seeing like, all right, so I'm going to get this sooner or later. Like when they're in the bad mood with other people, they treat them like this. I'm going to get that sooner or later. Is that acceptable or not? Is that something I want to get involved with? And I feel like that's going to tell you if you're going to move forward with the next person or not. They're tempered because you're waiting to see when they're in a bad mood, how do they act when they're in a bad mood? When they're being mean to somebody, how are they mean to somebody? Because everybody has some type of, like when they're in a bad mood and you know it, everybody has bad moods. And how do they treat other people when they're in a bad mood? And that's what you want to know. Are we good? All right, I think we're good. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope that helps. Thank you for Thank you for watching. If you want to purchase a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.